Yo, what is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome to Inter Miami podcast, Inter Miami show, Messi and Co. 5 Reasons Football channel. Hope you guys are doing great on a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday evening, afternoon here in Miami. Beautiful sunshine is out. I almost didn't have to put my studio light on. I'm sitting right in front of the window, and I got all this sunlight coming in. So it's a beautiful day today. Rained for a little bit, but we're doing good. Took a week off, but we're definitely back, and we're excited to be back. If you're wondering where Ash is, she's going to be jumping on anytime soon now. But what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I see some people in the chat already here. We got Ash. Good evening, team. What is up? We got Boss Daddy here. Aloha, friends. Aloha, aloha. Actually, I have family members, my parents, they're actually going to Hawaii. I think it's within the next couple of weeks or so. So that should be fun. I've never been to Hawaii. The reason I want to go to Hawaii, and you can call me a nerd, whatever you want, but I love Jurassic Park. Always been a Jurassic Park fan since I was little, and honestly would love to go on one of those Jurassic Park like tours. The helicopter takes you through the mountains, and you get to see all of the old like movie setup, and supposedly they still got a lot of the stuff set up there from the movies. So I'd love to go see that. But why five? Okay, well, why 5 reasons? All right, so 5 reasons. That's actually a good question. That's the name of the network. So there's 5 Reasons Sports, and if you guys have are watching us on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel, that's Ethan's channel, and they do mainly Miami. Well, they started off with a lot of Miami Heat stuff, and they do the Hurricanes, they do the Dolphins, and that's actually a great question. I should ask them why it's 5 reasons. 5 reasons of what? I'm sure it's a good. I'm sure there's a good story behind it, but nonetheless, we're the 5 Reasons Football channel because we're part of the network. But I'm surprised I don't know that. I probably should know that. I should have made something up right now. But we got Eagles Nest Robotics. Love the show. This is Sean here. Sean, what's up, dude? I love robotics. I don't know if you do robotics, but I've seen some really cool robots like on YouTube. I watch a lot of these channels where they show these robots and they walk up on like different stairs, and they do flips. And some of them I seen them actually fight like in like if it was a UFC match. It's pretty crazy what I feel like the future is going to look like pretty soon with robots all around. I mean, hopefully it's not like I Am Robot, where they kind of turn against us and take over us and make us their slaves or anything like that. But it looks like in the future, some pretty cool stuff with robots, especially like Star Wars, like the droids and all that. They're pretty cool. We did the helicopter ride around the entire island. It's awesome. I really want to, and I probably would do it, but I just know I'm so fearful right now of helicopters just because of the fact that it's not like an airplane. Okay, if an airplane engine goes out, like maybe you can glide down and you'll make it and you'll survive. I think for the most part, but if something goes wrong with the helicopter, it's not like you can gently float down. Like something breaks on the helicopter, you're going down. So I think that I got to get over that fear first. But I think the fact that like I feel like you feel like you're in Jurassic Park if you're flying through that. And I almost wonder, I would assume it'd probably be smart to maybe put that music in the background, like in the helicopter as you're going through there. But they also have tours on the ground for the Jurassic Park stuff where you can go through some of the scenes. But yeah, I know I'm probably getting too into that. I've always wanted to eat a pterodactyl wings barbecue. Pterodactyl wings, you're not going to be eating like this. I mean, like pterodactyls are freaking ginormous, like ginormous. So I'm pretty sure that you'd have to have your entire family eat off of one pterodactyl wing. Dude, if Ashley walks in here any moment and she hears us talking about eating pterodactyl wings, she's going to say, what the hell is going on, honestly? Yeah, I have coached first Lego league with my kids for 9 years, but my first love is Messi. A Lego league. Honestly, I haven't built Lego since I was a kid, but I remember it was good times. But I'm just gonna say Lego prices now, like Legos now, it's insane. I mean, I saw like a Millennium Falcon for like 200 or 300 bucks. I'm a big Back to the Future fan, so I found a cool Back to the Future Lego set. I would love to buy it again. They're crazy expensive. I never knew Legos were that expensive nowadays. Most likely it's for Miami's 5 national championships. Maybe that could be a good reason. I'm actually going to ask Ethan. That's a good question, and it's something I should know. Why the heck is it 5 Reasons Sports? 5. I mean, I like the sound of 5RSN. If you think about like the acronym, it's kind of like ESPN 5RSN, but maybe it is for the championships. Helicopters are pretty safe, believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe I get the notion that they're not because of the fact that you don't hear about all of the safe helicopter rides, but you certainly hear about them on the news every time they crash. And I mean, so that's probably it. But anyways, I'm probably going off on tangents on some of the things, but I hope you guys are doing good. We've had a good week since it's been how many days since Inter Miami played? Let's say they played against Philadelphia on May 24th. So it's been a good week since we've had some Inter Miami action. But still a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. A lot of rumors. You guys heard about the whole Casemiro thing. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that. But again, if you're just tuning in, Ashley will be jumping on pretty soon. But let's go ahead and just talk about Inter Miami and last game against the Philadelphia Union. Hopefully it's still a little bit fresh in your minds. Oh, well, I think Ash is jumping on here. Let's see. Before we keep going. Let's see. There she is. Ash,
Hi.
welcome. We're here
I'm so
the
sorry.
craziest, like the craziest things, honestly, before we were talking about eating pterodactyl wings because we're talking about like taking a helicopter ride through Hawaii to do the Jurassic Park tour. Talking about robots,
That's why you
talking about
need me
Legos. Like honestly, it's just we need someone to keep us on track. Look, what does it say? Have you seen the crazy Lego Iran videos? No, I have not. I have not at all. I'll check it out. Again, I love Legos. I think they're cool too. Hold on, Ash is just gonna catch up on it. As long as you flap your arms fast enough on the way down, you'll be fine. I don't think you can flap your arms on the way down from a helicopter.
What did you say to lead into this? Like,
It's.
what could you possibly said to get this?
I'm telling you, like we've been live for what, like 7-8 minutes. The amount of different conversations and topics we've touched in 6 minutes is absolutely crazy. Just an FYI, David Beckham is addicted to Legos. Is he? Really?
Did I leave
didn't
so you
know
can
that.
continue?
This may turn into a different podcast. It's funny, but so what I was saying, Ash, is I was trying my best to get on track with Inter Miami stuff. But it was cool. Like I was just trying to see how everybody was doing, you know, on a nice Monday. Well, anyway, actually, before we go into, I wanted to talk about Inter Miami and Philly, but before we do that, how are you? Because we haven't asked you. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that. I'm as you know, like I said, I just moved into my new apartment, and so I've been doing some renovations and updates, and so that is what took a little longer. But I'm good. I'm happy to be here. We had a nice little break last week, and then we came back, and it's a really exciting time for soccer.
Yes, I agree. And your mic is a little funky, just so you know.
Is it?
It's yeah, it sounds a little strange. I don't know if you want to unplug it, and then we can continue. It's like staticky kind of, it feels like. I don't know if you guys in chat, if you can hear the same thing. I want to make sure it's not me and my headphones, but it sounds like it's a little off. But no, I'm glad you're doing good, Ash. I mean, there's a lot, as I was telling chat, there's a lot to talk about. Inter Miami stuff. We have the World Cup coming up. We've got maybe if we have some time, we'll talk about some Champions League too. I'm sure you guys probably watched Champions League. That was pretty fun. Well, again, depending on who you wanted to win. And then I wanted to touch on Inter Miami, the Philadelphia game, and
what about now?
Talk again. Let me see.
Hello?
Yeah, it sounds staticky. So
Still static.
Yeah. Boss Daddy says, yeah, mic was messed up, so it's not me. Just wanted to make sure. It's a little static. If you want, come back in and we'll continue talking about pterodactyl wings. You can take a quick break and
Okay.
let's switch. But all right, so whatever. So let's talk about Inter Miami and Philly, right? Inter Miami Philly game. How do you guys feel about that game? 6-4. It's crazy. 10 goals in one game. You had Berterame scoring, Suarez scoring, the ball scoring. I think it was first half ended, and in the first half we had how many goals? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We had 8 goals, I think, already. 7 or 8 goals in the first half. I mean, that's just honestly nuts. Honestly nuts. So what I'll say about that game is, thankfully, we got another win at home, and I think that's what's important. We've been trying to, we had opened new stadium up, and I think we had gone 2 or 3 games without being able to win, and we finally are starting to win games at home. We know that we're really good away from home, so I think that that's important. But if you look at this game, I think there are a few things that you can get out of it. One is, I mean, we can go so many different ways. There's so many things I can talk about in this game. Let's go with this. Let's start off with Berterame. Berterame scored 2 goals, scored a minute 13, scored a minute 13, and scored a minute 42. I think that's amazing for Inter Miami. I think the fact that he's finally finding his way, he's starting to score. If we look at his MLS game log real quick, I want to see how many goals he's scored over the last few games. So he scored 2, obviously, against Philadelphia. Then he scored 1 the prior game against Portland Timbers, 1 prior to the Portland Timbers against Cincinnati. Then he went 2 without scoring, and then 1 against the Revolution and 1 against the Rapids. So you're talking about Berterame after being heavily criticized for not scoring. Well, do you want to give it a shot, Ash?
Hello.
It's strange. It's weird. It's like staticky, but it's okay. We'll ride with it. So, what I was saying is that Berterame, who started off.
What about now? What about
now? Go again.
I unplugged the mic, so this is just the computer audio.
Yeah, that sounds better. It sounds like you're a little bit far, but it sounds good.
Okay,
Much
yeah,
better.
well, we may have to deal with that. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good to go. It sounds good. So what I was saying is that trying to analyze this game against Philadelphia and just talking about how there's just so many different storylines that I want to touch on within that game. And I just decided, okay, let's go ahead and talk about Germán Berterame, who scores 2 goals against Philadelphia, who started the season heavily criticized because, again, he's a $15 million guy that comes from Mexico, being one of the, a guy that was scoring a lot of goals, and then not scoring. And now all of a sudden, he's in goal scoring form, right? He scores 2 against Philadelphia Union. He has 4 goals over his last 3 games. And not only is he scoring, but he's assisting, and if you were just to look at, let's say, the last 6 games, he's got 5 goals and 1 assist in his last 6 games. And you talk about his price tag. If that's all you knew and you didn't look at the beginning of the season, I think you say it's the Germán Berterame signing has been a success. Like, if you just look at the last 6 games and his current form, I think it's a success so far in that standpoint. So what do you think, I guess, about Berterame and his match against Philadelphia and how he's looked over the last few games?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so you hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I apologize for the audio issues. I'll get my next mic for the next episode. Yeah, I agree with you about Berterame. I mean, the truth is like, in the beginning of the season, I think that we were disappointed by the lack of finishing and, having him be that big piece to help us get through at the time, Nashville for the Champions Cup that we didn't get through, and wanting to establish, strong wins and strong performance early on. But he's definitely, over the last few games, I think, made a better showing for himself and is becoming a little bit more reliable. Still,
go ahead.
Moments where you're a little worried if he's going to be able to finish or get that last touch. But I think him playing with Suarez has forced him to make more out of his opportunities and moments. And, we were wondering, how is it going to work with Suarez and him, Messi, etc. Segovia, Sovetti trying to get those spots on the top. And then he's, at this point, showed higher form and kind of keeping himself starting right and on the field and important moments. So, like, going into the World Cup break, we weren't sure what we were going to see, and I think we've kind of seen both sides of the coin for him, and hopefully what we've seen recently is what's going to kind of like continue on.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point talking about the Suarez thing, and we'll touch on that too. With Luis Suarez, he certainly has had an impact on what Berterame has had to do. Francisco says Berterame is not a world-class striker. He's a good striker, perfect for MLS, but was too pricey. I mean, I'll agree. I think he was too pricey as well. I think that honestly, he wasn't. He wasn't Inter Miami's first option. I think when they wanted to add to this attack, we know that they had gone for. I'm for some reason I'm blanking on the name, but from LA.
Francisco Bonga.
Yeah, for Buonga. They had gone for Buonga and they couldn't get Buonga, and then that's when the Berterame.
Actually, I meant, but yeah.
Yeah, that's when the whole Berterame came in, and I agree they did overpay for him, but the productivity that he's giving Inter Miami right now is what they were paying for. So I think that he's starting to come around, and that's important. And we have to note that he was coming in under Mascherano, who I think that however you can feel about him, I think that we can kind of agree he wasn't getting the most out of the team that he had at that moment, right? And then also, I think we can deduce from some of the different information that has come out recently that maybe some of these signings weren't even Mascherano's choice, right? So Mascherano has a certain style of play. He has a certain type of profile player that he looks for. And it seems to me that maybe Berterame, and most likely Berterame, wasn't a player that he wanted, but a guy like Guillermo Hoyos, that was his job before becoming interim manager. He probably forced some of these players on him. And now Guillermo Hoyos is the one actually coaching the same player that he brought in. I think that has a little bit to do with it.
It could be. Could be.
Yeah,
full circle.
That's full circle. And then what you said, Ash, the whole Luis Suarez thing. Luis Suarez has had an impact on Berterame, and for a couple of different reasons. One could be what you said is just the competition, right? Like, hey, Luis Suarez is coming in here. Like, I need to, get better. I need to show out more. But also, I think part of that is just Luis Suarez making everybody around him better. And you may think a guy like Messi doesn't need someone to make them better, but inherently Luis Suarez makes anybody around him better. He makes Messi better. He makes De Paul better. He makes obviously Berterame better. So if you want to talk to us a little bit about that, because Suarez now on the season, which is crazy to think of, because if you go back to last season, you're thinking Luis Suarez was going to be a bench player. There's no shot he's getting starters minutes. And then you go to 2026 and he started in 7 games this season, has 6 goals and 5 assists in 7 starts, which is mind-blowing. I mean, that is
crazy.
It's crazy. And then against Philadelphia, he has a hat trick, scores minute 29, 44, and 81. So not only is he scoring, but he's making everybody around him better. He's assisting. He's helping Messi tremendously. Like, what are your thoughts on this 2026 version of Suarez and what he did in this game against Philadelphia? I think it's crazy.
It's crazy, 100%. Yeah, I will start with this. The reason I said Francis, and I know it because I was watching the French Open, and Francis Tiafoe is playing right now, so that's why I said it. But okay, yeah, Luis Suarez revived our attack 100%. The truth is I honestly am surprised he wasn't called up for Uruguay for the World Cup, because he's been in such good form now. And Luis Suarez is interesting because he's one of those players, I think, throughout his career where you've seen him and been like, when he's at his best, he's at his best. Like, some of the goals that he scored for Liverpool, like some of those bangers, then what he did at Barcelona with Neymar and Messi. Remember, he went to Atletico Madrid and he helped them win La Liga. That was like around the COVID season. I mean, he's done so much in his career, and then coming to Inter Miami, started off in his first season with a bang, lots of goals, lots of assists, kind of faded a little bit last season, I think. And then we, like you said, we thought he was going to kind of take on this bench role, be a mentor, come in at the 70th plus minute. And that's how it started for the season. But through injury, circumstance, etc., he's found himself not only not coming off the bench, but starting and playing games, and even playing like in Philadelphia, the full 90. I mean, partially, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, Messi obviously coming off early. I was going to say a little early, coming off early period. He would never wants to come off early. It was important with the game going back and forth and thinking about the lead Philadelphia generated in the beginning. It was important for Inter Miami to score and to be dangerous and to keep going. And he brought that. And so did I expect to see a world and a place where going into the World Cup break, Inter Miami consistently was on, what is it, a 6-game win streak, and then has their front line of Suarez and Berterame as like your go-tos, impossible to bench? Probably not. But like we've seen with everything in sports and in soccer specifically, you got to ride the hot hand. And so as long as that's the case, we'll keep going.
Yeah, it's insane what Luis Suarez has done for this team. And look, I think that even when he's not scoring, and the fact that he is scoring is crazy, but even when he's not scoring, how he impacts the game and helps, he's basically another facilitator for this team. So what I was trying to, I think I kind of mentioned this last episode, where it's now Messi used to have Jordi Alba on that left-hand side that he can associate himself with on that left-hand side. And now he has Luis Suarez on the left instead of Jordi Alba. Okay, he's not necessarily a wing player, but if you look at the way that Messi is currently playing, he plays between Luis Suarez on his left and with De Paul on his right. And I think that has made things huge. It's been a huge impact on Messi, because Messi now has other players that he trusts. He trusts De Paul, he trusts Suarez the same way he trusted Busquets and Jordi Alba. And it's not only that trust, but the familiarity. Why is that word so damn hard? Familiarity. Damn.
Familiarity, yeah.
MISSI, PPI, Mississippi, whatever. So the fact that they know how to play off of each other, it's crazy, because Messi will hand the ball off to Luis Suarez, and Suarez knows exactly where Messi's going to make that run. Or the same thing with De Paul. De Paul gets the ball, knows exactly what Messi is going to do, where he's going to stop, where he's going to run to. So I think that's helped greatly. And look, I'm a stats guy, and when I have time, I try to do my best to bring stats to you guys. When I don't, I know that I can hang on Scotty. Scotty is a stats guy too. If you guys don't follow him, Scotty Gray is IMCF, and he put up a stat with the Suarez numbers, and I wanted to read some of these out. So kudos to him for doing this. Look, Berterame, these are Berterame's numbers with and without Suarez, right? So without Suarez, in 601 minutes, he's got 2 goals. With Suarez, in 533 minutes, less minutes, he's got 5 goals. I mean, that's an insane jump. His goals per 90 minutes went from 0.30 to 0.84. And his average SOFA score went from 6.69 to 7.23. The Suarez impact is crazy. And yes, he didn't go to the World Cup, but I think that wasn't a surprise to anybody. It may be a surprise that he didn't want it, or he didn't, not that he didn't want it, but maybe it's a surprise because of the numbers. But I think that
Suarez or Berterame?
Suarez.
Oh,
Which Berterame is a good thing you bring him up too. But the Suarez thing is, he had already retired from the team previously. Even when he was asked about it at practice, he said himself that he didn't. That I guess he was open to it, right? It's not like he felt like he needed to go or wanted to go. I just think that stage is over for him. Maybe if he was a bit younger, but the Berterame thing, I think the season early on hurt him too much. Like, even though he recouped at the end, like if these numbers had been consistent over the last 6 games, 100% he's playing on that team. Just because it took him so long to get up to where he needed to be, unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. But lastly, I want to do 2 more things in the Philadelphia, and this will be quick before we jump into the next thing. But De Paul, he scored minute 93. I think for me, De Paul started. He did well in the final. Obviously, last season he did good in the playoffs. He went kind of regressed early on in the season, especially in the part where he was passing and accuracy. I think.
Oh, I thought you were going to say parting teammate.
Or the parting. Yeah. I mean, hey, look, we can. I think that that became more of an issue because of the performances. I think that
Yeah.
if you're playing good
No,
on
it's
the
true.
field and you're being accurate with your passes and you're doing everything you need to, I don't think anybody cares if you're partying or if you're showing up in a music video with Messi and your girlfriend, or or you have a game in 2 days, but you travel to Argentina, for a birthday party. I don't think anybody cares. I think it became an issue just because of the fact that some of the performances weren't on par. But I'll say probably over the last few games, I think he's been better, and I like that he's playing higher up under Hoyos, and he's combining more with Messi,
I
and he's
agree.
scoring. He's scoring. So, yeah, I just think I like what I'm seeing from him over the last few games, and I just hope that continues.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that DePaul has definitely over the last few games like brought himself more up into the fold, and we were saying a lot that knowing that he was going to be going to Argentina soon. We said this for Messi too, even though Messi never plays down, but just like we knew that they were really getting into form and trying to up themselves, getting ready to go to Argentina in the World Cup. Yeah, it's true. Suarez has been super solid over the last 2+ seasons. So that is a benefit. But yeah, so I agree. I think that with DePaul, when he has it's the same thing we said kind of with Suarez. When we have them threatening to score, whether it's DePaul, whether it's Messi, whether it's Berterame, whether it's Silvetti, Segovia, whoever is playing, if everyone seems like a threat to the goal, then it creates more opportunity, more opening, and it has the other team playing, more scared, and that's what you want. You want to dominate. And I feel like we were saying earlier this season, it didn't feel like Inter Miami were dominating the same way they did last season, but it's certainly, I think, over the last few games and wins, it's definitely brought everything up, the energy up, the play up, the wins, all that stuff.
Yeah. Look, I love how Inter Miami has been playing as of late. I think that for whatever criticism that you can have of Guillermo Hoyos, and there certainly are criticisms in some of the decisions that he makes, but overall, when you look at the results, I think that he's done good. And we're going to talk about actually a mid-season grade about like the performance and some of the players. We're actually going to grade some of them and give each one of our grade for each player. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think that this team has looked good, and I think that's important. The last thing I'll touch on with the Union game is the only thing that for me I think was worrisome is, look, the attack continues to look great. I mean, we're scoring just an incredible amount of goals, right? But the fact that the worst team in the Supporter Shield standings came into our house and scored 4 on us, I think that was worrisome, and it just is so blaringly obvious where this team needs to get better. And so we'll focus on that a little bit later on, but definitely the defense is something that worried me. Mikael, I think, continues to be good. Reillon, when he's available and healthy, he's good. Ian Frey, obviously, I think we can both agree that Ian Frey over Facundo Mura all day. The question is the Falcon issue, where it seems that he's regressed as of late. So I think that that's where we need to figure it out. But do you agree with me? Is that kind of worrisome that Philadelphia, the worst team in MLS, and then the bottom 5 in scoring in the whole MLS was able to come in at home and score on us 4 times? I think that's pretty worrisome.
It was worrisome. I mean, you talked about the defenders. I think, especially in the first half, Dane St. Clair is just having like an absolute shocker of a season to start in.
Yeah.
The goals he gave up were bad. He got some good saves in the end, but nowhere near what we need. And that the goalkeeper starts and represents the back line. I think, to your point, Falcon has gone up and down. We've seen more consistency out of like an Ian Frey, Mikael, to your point, who I think has been, honestly, when I do the grades, like Mikael, just I'll give it a little hint. He gets an A from me because I think he's been absolutely great for this team, super consistent, a really great part of the back line. We'll just have to see what happens because I think there's gonna need to be some adjustments, some changes, some improvement from the defense for this team to be able to, make a deep run in the playoffs, maybe even win Leagues Cup. The defense needs to start matching the offense's energy, and we need to see that from the collective unit.
Yeah, collectively, I think they need to get better. And when you say collectively, what I think of is not just the back four, but I think of Yannick Bright and I think of the Paul. Like,
Yeah.
those are two of the guys I think of, because a lot of times, a lot of these goals, I put honestly more ownership on the midfield than I do the actual defense. Now I've seen the defense completely fall apart, and yeah, there are times where you can blame something on, Mikael, or you can blame something on Falcon, but a lot of times it's like I see some of these. I mean, I've seen some really bad effort on the ball's part where he'll let a guy completely pass him and just like not even do anything, or make a bad pass out of the back that leads to a to a one-on-one versus our center backs, and they're not the speediest, and I think that it still is needed to. You still need to improve and get guys that are faster, or or have higher IQ. But some of these goals aren't just the defense. When I think of defense, I think the defense and the midfield, like as a whole, like they need to get better in that aspect, and I think they will. And I think there'll be some changes. Hopefully, during this transfer window, we do see a center back. And then for Dane St. Clair, to be fair, I do think there have been some objectively like really, really bad plays, where he doesn't hold on to the ball, he deflects the ball into the middle, he comes out wrong and like does a penalty where that I think another goalkeeper wouldn't have done it. But there have been some where it's like, man, if the defense was better,
the fundamentals, right? The fundamentals have been he's done some great saves, but the fundamentals is what he's not living up to.
Yeah. So sorry,
you keep kicking me out.
Yeah, no, I'm switching to the next scene, and
it's
like it. But so just wanted to talk about probably some of the bigger news coming out of that game. Messi doesn't come out of the game under no circumstance unless he's injured or trying to protect an injury. Those are the only two circumstances. There's no other circumstances. That's not him. And when we say he left early, someone might hear he left early and say, oh, he left in the 23rd minute or the 50th minute or what. No, early is any time he doesn't finish the game, because
literally
that's
it's so
early.
crazy.
So he got substituted in the 73rd minute for Matteo Silvetti. And prior to the substitution, he was standing on the sideline next to the coach's box and just massaging his left what the hell is the one in the back? Hamstring.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, hamstring. He's massaging his left hamstring, which is not something new. I mean, we've seen it's a chronic injury or chronic something that bothers him often, right? And it's always that left one. I mean, I was watching videos about him on some of all the games of his on YouTube, and you're talking about even in the Barcelona days or the PSG is like him just grabbing the same leg.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing going on through everybody's mind was not again. Like it's that left hamstring. So he's holding it, he's grabbing it, he doesn't move, and then he gets substituted. And Ash, I think he actually walked straight to the
locker room,
which was even worse. I mean, everybody's like nightmares are coming to the, so he goes back and then he doesn't come out and everybody's fearful. And so I want to read the injury report. This came out last Monday. And what Inter Miami has said is Inter Miami's captain had to leave the field yesterday, Sunday, May 24th, during the match against Philadelphia Union due to physical discomfort. After undergoing further medical tests this Monday, the initial diagnosis indicates an overload associated with muscle fatigue in his left hamstring. The timeline for his return to physical activity will depend on his clinical and functional progress. I read that, and what I get is he felt something.
Not as bad as we thought, is what, right? Is that what
it's a sigh of relief. Yeah. It's a sigh of relief, and he felt just an overload. He felt muscle fatigue. I felt it myself the other day. I was walking through Whole Foods, and I and I felt muscle fatigue. Now it's a different situation than Messi, I think it's just my age, but I got the same injury Messi did. He was playing and I was shopping for avocados, but nonetheless, so I think that he felt it and he's like, look, dude, we're winning this game. I have the World Cup in like 3 weeks. There's zero shot in hell that I am going to risk anything. And I think that not only him, but the coaching staff, I think Scaloni watched that and gave them a call, like, get him out of there. And that's it. And he got out and he's just, and his prognosis is just, it will depend on his clinical and functional progress. That just means the day he wakes up and he's feeling better. So I think that we can, he traveled with the team. I think he'll be good for World Cup. I don't think he's going to miss any game. He is missing the friendly coming up right now. So that I do know. He's going to miss Argentina. Who's Argentina play against?
Well, I think he said he's going to play in the Algeria game. I can't remember what the first game is, though.
Argentina. I'm gonna check right now. Argentina is going to be playing. Let's see. Is it Honduras? Yeah, they're gonna play Honduras on June 6th. So he's gonna skip that one. And that's important. So I think it's a sigh of relief for everybody. Like, he's gonna be fine. But I assume you were worried too, right, Ash? Like, that was, I don't know. I was like, not again.
It's crazy, actually, because the context of it, and I honestly, I don't want people saying I give bad juju, because I don't, and I'm always reading. But it's literally crazy. I was in the press box sitting with our good friend Javier Guerrero, who, by the way, stay tuned, because later this week we're doing a World Cup preview with Javi, so it's going to be really, really exciting. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, we were watching and sitting, and especially when the rain started picking up, it kept being like, wow, Messi's really giving so much and playing at such a high level in the last game before the World Cup. And it was like the smallest thing, just like in the back of our minds, especially as the rain started coming down, we were like, okay, like, careful. And I was even saying, like, everyone from Argentina is watching with, bated breath, their eyes closed. And then, what we didn't expect to happen did happen, which was him coming out. But to your point, I guess immediately my thought was, one, he's walking normally. He wasn't limping. He was walking with a purpose out, and obviously, he never wants to come out of a game early, but you thought he's walking normal. He came off, and I think for Messi, it's either 0 or 100. Like, if he's coming out or if he needs to stop, he immediately, like, he knows when to use his energy and when his speed and his burst. If he has a break, we see him walking sometimes, but like, he knows when and when not to push his legs and push himself. So when he wanted to get subbed out, immediately just walked normally to the locker room, and I thought, he feels a little something, but I think he's being overly cautious and precautious, and he would never be that, right? Like, that's so the opposite of him. He plays through it and plays through every minute. He felt a little something. He wanted to be cautious, walked off as normal. The reason I also done that is because right after I saw DePaul was happy and talking to people, and I just think, there's no way he would know for sure, but I don't know. Immediately when I saw DePaul laughing and talking with the rest of the teammates a few minutes in and getting his goal, I was like, okay, he thinks Messi's fine. Messi gave a signal that he's okay. He just feels a little something. Literally, the truth is, we didn't know what was going to happen, and could it have been a strain? Could it have been something that would have been worse? 100%, we didn't know for sure. But just for some reason, as it was happening, I thought, this is more for safety than anything else. It didn't feel like a true harsh injury, like what we saw in the Copa America final, where you're like, oh no, like, how could this happen to him? That's just was my initial feelings.
Yeah, and thankfully for us and for him and all his fans and all Inter Miami fans, because the last thing you would have wanted was an injury going into the World Cup. I mean, this World Cup has been like, I think that anytime you're going into the World Cup, you're seeing all your favorite players, and you're like, please be
careful,
okay.
Be careful.
Like, this is the last game, like, I'm just, for example, and if we'll have time, but I just want to say, since we're on the topic, like, I'm watching Champions League and I'm watching Piero Hincapié, our left back for Ecuador, and he's playing, left back in the last, like, the game went into double overtime. or not double overtime, but double,
extra
and
time,
the penalties, extra time. And the last 30 minutes was like wincing. He couldn't walk and I'm just like, dude, get him out, put Califiori in, please. Like, and I think like we all feel like that with all of our players, with our favorite teams, like it's World Cup, please don't get injured. So it's just great that Messi's going to be, he's going to be fine, and he'll be in what'll be his last World Cup. So that'll be great.
Yeah.
So
thank
let's
God.
go.
Well, scary moment, but we'll take it.
Exactly.
The amount of minutes he's played already to start the season, and just as long as he rests, recovers, and is okay for Argentina, that I think is what's great.
Yeah. All right. So I want to go into this our mid-season report. Ashley, you may disappear, you may not. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll bring you back. So let's go ahead and go to the next scene here. And you disappeared. Okay. So, but I brought you back. All right. So what we wanted to do is two things. First, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do like let's give our grade on the season so far.
Yeah.
And say why. And then what we'll do is we'll go in and give our, I actually made something cool. Hopefully it looks good on the screen, but it'll have all the Inter Miami players, and we're gonna go ahead and put each of our grades live as we talk through it, and that'll be fun. But first, before I bring that up, let's go and let's give our grades for the season so far. And it's not exactly halfway through the season, but it's there. Like it's a few games away. So we'll call it the first half and the second half, because we have a big
pre and post World Cup. Yeah.
All right. So you want me to go first? You want to go first? What do you want to do?
Is there pluses and minuses?
Yeah, there's anything you want to do. There's pluses, there's minuses. You can just completely fail them. You can put them in detention. You can send them to another school. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, let's do it at the same time. Okay, let's do it at the same time. I mean, it may be delayed, but then we can each go through it, and whoever has the higher grade starts.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Okay. Oh, you were so ready for me to go first. You were gonna just you punt it to me.
All right. So yeah, I was actually hoping you'd go first. But all right. So ready at the count of three. At the count of three, you say your grade. All right. So I'm gonna go with. All right. Wait. Are we going 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1? Let's do 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. B+.
B+.
Really? Shut up. No way.
Well, there was not that many.
B+. Okay. All right. So that'll be interesting, though. Anyways, it'll be interesting because I want to know why you gave it a B+, and then I'll let you know why I give it a B+.
Okay.
What do you want me to do?
No. I'll start. The reason I give it a B+, well, the reason it's not an A or an A+ or an A- is because obviously got knocked out of the Champions Cup, and that was going to be a really important part of the Inter Miami season and trophies, what we were trying to aim for, what we were trying to get deep in that tournament for. So it can't be an A. But knowing the win streak that we're on now and the overall performances, and I would say honestly improvements. I mean, look, you had a coaching change. You've had some injuries to start you at a really difficult schedule, playing away from home for the first month plus because of the stadium being built. A lot of different variables at play. And, looking at the team now into this break and the amount of wins they've gotten, it's more positive than negative, right? So that's why I went with the B+, because there's still a lot of work to be done. It's not perfect, but what we've seen after, I think, some like trials and tribulations to start the season has been consistent, and it's been strong. And like what did I say? 5 or 6 wins in a row, players getting into better form, Berterame scoring, other players stepping up, etc. Like Messi's been on absolute crazy tear with the amount of goals and assists he's had over the last whatever games. Suarez playing in good form. Take all those things into consideration. You're like, I'll take it. It's a good start of the season. If they win, if they can make it far in, like I said, League's Cup, which Suarez won't be playing in, I read that comment, or, making it to MLS Cup and another championship, that can bring it back to an A status. But for me, good, but there were some, problems.
I'm going to keep mine short because it's going to match almost exactly what you said.
Yeah.
we're very aligned, like very aligned in that. So I'll keep mine short. But in the meantime, I don't know why Chad is so quiet. Like, what are your grades? That's what I want to know. Like, what do you guys grade this first half of the season? Is it an F just because we absolutely stunk and got
F for
whooped
fun.
in Champions Cup. F for failure. Did we get? Is it an F because we bombed out of the Champions Cup? Is it a C because even though we bombed out of Champions Cup, we've kind of turned it around with Mascherano leaving and Hoyos coming in? Is it a B plus because the recent wins?
Stadium.
Yeah, like because we have a new stadium. Like, I want to know what you guys in chat think. Like, what are you guys thinking? And then I'll
people think I'm smart.
What is about
Getting a lot of
B plus? Same as y'all. I like that. B plus. All right. So they're kind of aligned. But so I really want to dive into the player ratings because that's gonna be fun or great. So I'll keep mine super short real quick. I agree with you 100%. I think that it would have the only way you would have gotten an A so far, I think, is if they would have won Champions Cup. Like that's the only way I would have given him an A. I think B plus is a good, and maybe as I think about it a little more, maybe being a bit more a little too generous, maybe I'll drop it to B minus. And it's simply because I think that this team has gone through a lot of turmoil. Again, pointing to things that you said, Ash, like they've gone through a lot of turmoil, and I think that they could have faltered and just fallen into that like funk, but they found a way to get out of it.
Yeah.
And despite it being ugly and having to, move on from Mascherano and maybe bringing on a coach that is questionable because of the fact that he seems more like an interim coach, and the players like going through this whole thing with the season, with the fans, and they found a way to get better. Berterame has gotten better. Messi is playing at an all-time. Like Messi is just absolutely playing out of his mind right now. De Paul playing better. That 4-game win streak. I just think that putting that all together, they've overcome a really bad situation and I think the future is looking optimistic, and that's what I like the most, and that's why I'm going to give them a B plus because of the turnaround that they've made, and because the future looks bright, and it may go actually from a B minus to a B plus depending on what happens in the off season. I think like who are they going to bring on?
Right?
Are they going to update the team? Because I think we can all agree that they need to update the team, right? There are a few tweaks that need to be done. Which actually after the report we'll talk about how they can improve, and we'll talk about some of the things that they'll do and some of the news like the Ben Hakremaski news too. So but okay, so let's try this, guys. We're not we're not Fox Sports or ESPN Deportes or FS1 here with our graphics. So let's see if this works. This may be a complete failure or it may be the best thing you've seen today. So
we're Messi Co. It's even better.
So let's go ahead and try this. All right, so here we go. Let me bring this up. Let's try. Okay, and then let me bring this up. Okay. How does that? Does that look too small for you guys? Chat, please. Does that look like, or can you actually?
If you click on a player, does it? Yeah, we may need to zoom in a little. Can you?
Well, I know for us it probably looks small. I want to see how it looks like for everybody else. Can you guys see these grades? Like if I was to put like, let's say a B here, right? Can you guys see that?
Oh, I now that I made mine full screen, I can see it.
Yeah, that's what. Because if it's full screen, does it look good? Is I guess what I'm trying to figure out. Like, like does that look good? Yeah, right.
I think we can do it.
Okay, so here are the players. We're going to live score this right now. It's like B Rabbit and Eminem in the 8th Mile. We're gonna off the dome. Like we're just gonna do this right now. We haven't.
What a reference.
We haven't. Yeah. I wonder if you guys are you guys old enough to have watched that?
We're too young for that. Sorry, we're too young.
So we're gonna go one by one, and we're gonna go ahead and grade all of these. All right. So let's go ahead and start with Lujan. A, if you haven't figured it out, is for Ashley. G is for Gian.
Perfect.
So we're gonna go ahead and grade. All right. So Ash.
Yeah.
Quick. These will be like, let's take not too long and not too short, but what's your grade and why for each one? So let's start off with Lujan.
B for me. He is Yeah, he's been a little bit more consistent and better than last season when he's gotten a few opportunities to play and slot in, whether it's been for Falcon or whatever. Overall better than like I think it's been an improvement from last season. Last season I would have said he was probably a C. So I mean he's not, I would say, the best player, but consistent, better enough B.
B. Okay, I agree. I'm gonna go a B as well. Let's go. Actually, just so that we're not the same, I'm gonna go B plus.
No, we can be the same for some of them. There's so many.
I'm gonna go B plus. Here's why. I think Gonzalo Lujan, everybody thought of him as a substitute going into this season, but then with the regression or slight regression of Falcon, I think he's come in to that position and he's actually looked better than Falcon this season. So I'm going to give him a B plus for that, for being available and ready for when he's needed and putting on some good performances. So I'm going to give him a B plus. Let's go ahead with Reguilón. We have Boss Daddy said Lujan B. He also agrees. Sean Callahan B for Reguilón. What do you think?
I'm going to be a little harsher. I'm going to say a C plus. Because to me, the best ability is availability. And to no fault of Sergio Reguilón, obviously he can't control the injuries, but he was out for a large portion of the beginning of the season due to injury. When he's played now, I think he's actually been really good. And I'm really excited and hopeful that he can be consistent and play throughout the season. But you can't grade him higher due to the fact that he's unavailable. If you can't play, I can't grade you.
I agree with that. The thing is, if he's always available and he's always playing, he's a B. I feel like as well.
Totally agree with this. If he's a save, if he plays more, he's an A, 100%.
Even in A in MLS terms, like for what the team needs, what he brings in attack, yeah, it can even be an A. I can't argue that as well. Like it could be a B plus, it can be an A. But because of the fact that he hasn't been available, you give him a C plus. I'm giving him just a straight up C. No. Let's give him a C minus. You know what? Let's give him a C minus. C minus is worse. Or
yeah,
it's like C minus, C, and then C plus, right? Like C would be in the middle. Okay, so I'm giving him a C minus on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not
okay. All right.
Like
good.
in school, guys. I'm not giving you my grades. You're not gonna know.
No,
Facundo Mura.
Ones we haven't really played because I don't think we want to do this forever. But okay,
No,
so
just do it. Just do it fast.
Okay.
Fast.
Mura,
right.
I'm gonna be harsher. D. I think that
D for damn.
Yeah.
D,
wow.
okay.
Look, we're all really aligning. The truth is,
D for dog water. Is it dog water or is it hot dog water?
Been good.
Stinky hot dog water. All right. So D for just D. Okay. D for dog water. I'm going to give. It's like I can give him a D, or do I bump him up to a C minus because of that big smile? He's a big.
Yeah, we can't do this for everyone. We'll be here before.
Nah, zero. Go to summer school. I'm gonna give him a.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a D plus. I'm gonna give him a D plus. Honestly, he just. It's been disappointing. We thought that he was gonna be a starter that was going to be like great on that right hand side, and on that right hand side, and Ian Frey just took it from him. Absolutely took it from him. Rodrigo de Paul.
This one's actually hard. B plus.
B plus.
I'm gonna say B plus because he sometimes plays like an A because he's so talented and so the best sometimes plays like an A plus, can be one of the best at his position in the world. He was for sure. But a few, we've seen a few inconsistencies to start this season. Some games where he wasn't in the form he was in towards the end of last season, has kind of gotten it back. I think in the last few weeks we've said that the play has improved and we've seen goals and etc. So yeah, B plus.
B plus. Boss Daddy agrees with you. I'm going with a simple B on here.
Yeah.
Not going B plus. I think B plus. I think he can get to a B plus or even an A minus. I think he can get there. The only reason I'm giving him not the plus is no. You know what? Screw this. I'm going B minus, guys. I'm giving him a B minus just because of the fact that I think he needs to be better in that midfield when it comes to the defensive side of things. I think you expect more from him.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be better there. He needs to be more accurate with the ball. Way too many times, even though that does come with the territory because he's the guy that handles the ball more. So maybe I'll give him some leniency there. But I think with that responsibility, he needs to be better on the ball. And he just needs to show more commitment to some of these coverages that he has on defense. Far too many times he's letting guys just slide past him. But I still think he's on the up and up. Velasco Segovia.
We got to go through these quicker. We're shortening what we're going to say. Keep going. Okay, who's that?
Velasco Segovia. No, we're good. We're at 55 minutes. I think we can wrap this up at the speed we're going. I think we'll wrap this up within 10 minutes. Like we'll be fine. We'll be good.
Okay. All right. You're right. B minus has had some good moments and goals, but to me, I think we feel differently. Maybe I just feel some type of way about him. I sometimes think, especially when you have like a Silvetti or you have other players who bring more excitement and energy, I just sometimes wish I could see more out of him. I think part of it's honestly a personal opinion, but yeah, so he gets just like a B for me.
I can see why you say that because of the fact that he's not an exciting player. I think he does the dirty work. Like he gives you presence in that midfield, and he's a guy that's like, if you're looking for scoring, that's not what you're gonna get from him. He's somebody that'll give you a good balance, I think, in that midfield, and that's why he's good. I'm gonna give him. I think for what he needs to do, I give him a B plus because I think he's done what he's needed to do. He's been really good for us in the midfield. He's been solid. But I do agree with you. If you're looking at it from a point of view of I want more excitement, I want more attack from that position, then he's not going to look that good to you when you're looking at like a Silvetti type player, which well, I'll give my feedback on something about Silvetti later. But anyways, okay, Suarez.
A. He gets an A. He's the way, he started with coming off the bench, and the way he's played and started these last few games, he's playing, I think, even better than last season. We're seeing goals, we're seeing assists, we're seeing energy. Him playing with Berterame has been, I think, also better than expected. He gets an A. For right now, for me, he gets an A. And congrats to him because I didn't think that would happen. And it shows when you're one of the best, you can keep it and you can turn it on anytime, really.
A plus. When did you think?
Wow.
When did you think Luis Suarez would then have an A and an A plus on his report card and his what do you call it? Like a mid-semester report card? Like when did you think that? It's just incredible. Honestly, it's not just what he's done for like himself. Again, we're talking about 6 goals and 5 assists. I think I said 6 goals, 5 assists in 7 games.
Yeah,
that is like insane. But he's made Messi better. As crazy as that may sound, he's made De Paul better. He's made Berterame 10 times better than he was. This guy, Luis Suarez, is behind Messi. Is the single-handed biggest reason why this team is on a 4-game win streak and why they're looking good. So A and A plus 100%.
Yeah, and well deserved, which I love. Amazing, right? You never thought we'd say it, but and I think if you'd ask 10 Inter Miami fans, 9 of them would say A or A plus. So that just goes to show.
Yeah, no, 100% guaranteed.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get to
what about this guy?
We don't really care about him.
What about this guy?
To be honest with you, and this, yes, we have some type of bias, obviously, but the truth is he's been playing at an A plus. Messi is playing so well. The amount of goals and assists he's had in these last few games, leading scorer in MLS, the level of play he's at and that he was at going into this World Cup. It was true where I say it often, but it really means the most now. You would start him on almost any team in the world right now. That's how good he's playing. Think about that. He's 38 years old. He's at the point where, quote unquote, a couple of years ago, he's ready for retirement. He's won everything he can in soccer. It doesn't matter. The way he's playing right now is an A plus, no matter who's the judge, which is just a credit to him.
I mean, you couldn't have said it better. He's just on a tear. 12 goals, 8 assists in 14 games. He's been probably the most durable he's been for Inter. Like
20 goal contributions. That's insane.
No, it's just honestly incredible. And I mean, I can't say anything different. A plus. I mean, I don't think we should spend any more time on Messi. You know what he gives you. He knows what he brings. you know what he brings, and he's just been insane. Luis Barraza,
Amazing to
what do you
see it at
think?
this point. You still see it at such a high level. And, you know, like one person who's just never cheated the game. And I think that's part of what makes him the best of all time. It's just, yeah,
If you want,
amazing.
I'll
All
start with
right.
this one. Luis
Yeah.
Barraza. I've only seen him in the images that the social media team puts as they arrive to the stadium or walk up the stairs to the airplane. And I'll say I like how he dresses. I'm giving him a C plus. C plus. What do you think?
Same.
Same. C plus. Okay.
Yeah.
You're in a C plus. Mikael Dos Santos.
A.
A.
Or you know what? A minus. I'm going to say A minus. The reason is because I think the defense overall has been an issue for Inter Miami, has had some poor performances. And when you're a defender, like part of that is collectively gets added to you, which is why it's not perfect. But I'm saying A minus because I think the level of play he's brought and the consistency he's brought and the energy has been excellent. And with a tough defense and tough performances, you know, I've thought consistently Mikael has been there and has been up for it. And so for me, that's an A.
This is probably the one where we differ the most. And I'm going to go with a B minus, not a B1, a B minus. What the hell is going on with my grading? B minus.
Oh my God, did you hear that thunder?
No. I don't. I mean,
oh my God. Okay, sorry. Go on.
We're like 30 minutes away, so maybe I don't know how quickly the
huge amount of thunder and lightning just now. That was
the sound
crazy.
travels, but
kind of like a kid summer camp scary like thunder. Woo.
So B minus. I'm going B minus because of what you said. I think he's done good, but he's part of a bigger issue, which is the defense as a whole. And I've seen him struggle at times, but as a whole, I don't think you can get an A when defensively you're all there. It's your biggest weakest point. So I'm giving Mikael a B minus, even though I think he's the stronger of all our defenders. Ian Frey.
B. I think that, you know, you can't give any defender an A right now because I mean I even though I just said that A minus for Mikael, I get your overall opinion, which is that, like, you know, the defense lives and dies together, and so nothing outstanding. But for Ian Frey, another thing that makes him great is right now availability. And for a kid who's, you know, dealt with a lot of injuries, ups and downs, he has been super consistent this year. And when he plays, he's getting, I think, valuable minutes. And so it gets a B for me. But always, you know, the room for the defense to improve and the overall there to be improvement.
I'm giving him a C plus. I'm giving it a C plus because going back to the Mikael thing, it's tough to give somebody a good grade and when the defense isn't at its best. And if I'm giving Mikael a C minus, there's no way I can give Ian Frey a B minus. There's no way I can give him the same thing as Mikael when Mikael has been the better of the defender. So I'm dropping a notch there. I'm going from B minus to C plus for Ian Frey. I think he's been good for us on offense. The defense, I think he can get better. But he's a homegrown. I have an affinity towards him, love him. I think he's great. And I think he's still young. He's got a lot to grow. So I think he'll be better. Berterame.
No, I think that's fair. Berterame gets a C for me. I'm gonna give just a complete average C. Because look, before a few weeks ago, you would have said an F because of how poor it started and the amount of missed goals and opportunities. Yes, he's been able to get some of them back in the last whatever games. And, you know, I hope the grade can keep getting better and better. But started off the season as a major disappointment. Missed a few golden chances. We got knocked out of Champions Cup. There was a lot of, you know, is he worth the $15 million? It was a heavy price. It's a heavy job he's being asked to do. And only recently do I think he started to like come into it and make some good plays. And so I'm not going to give him a failing grade, but right now he's kind of back in the middle and he needs to do his job to get himself on the positive side.
I'm going to give him a C plus. I'm going to give him a C plus because you have to take the entirety of this first half of the season into play when you come up with these grades. I think if you take that 50% of this, he was an F for 50%.
Yeah.
Or wait, he got a couple assists. and he fought hard to win some of these balls back that led to goals. So actually, never mind. I wouldn't have given him an F. I probably would have given him more so probably a D. I would have
Yeah.
given him a D. But I think that he's on the up and up. Obviously, he's scoring now. He's doing very well since Suarez has been injected into the lineup. I'm going to give him a C plus. I think that the way he's going, he can, by the end of the season, that C plus could probably end up being anywhere from a B plus to even an A. I think he can get to an A. Like literally continue what you're doing.
I agree.
And he gets to an A because he's on the up and up. So
I agree.
Santi
I think
Morales.
we should do it at the end of the season and then compare.
Yes,
see
yes, that's a great idea. I'll save this
things-
because
how
I
things
really
change.
do think mine can get to an A. Look, I'll start off with the Santi one. I'm leaning towards giving him an A simply because he survived his dad getting fired from the team and he's still here. Like he's a fighter. He may get an A just for that. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna give him a B because neither here nor there for me right now because he still doesn't, get those meaningful minutes. But he didn't leave with his dad, so that is true.
That's an A plus for effort and for staying out of the limelight and just keeping quiet in the corner reading a book so nobody notices he's still there. So
Yes.
I'm gonna go with let's go with Tadeo Allende.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a C minus. When he was available to play in the beginning of the season, after what was such an amazing playoff run, we were expecting more for him. Similarly to Berterame, he just wasn't really delivering on that side of the pitch. Didn't see, I think, the confidence and progressive play we were hoping for after what was such a great, we said a great playoff run. Led to an MLS Cup, so can't fault it. But then he gets obviously this injury. He's out for the season. So, I can't give him much better than that.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give him a C. I just think that he came in with big expectations after what he did last season, especially in the final, in the playoff run, scoring the most goals in MLS playoff history. And then he comes back and he's absolutely not doing anything near what he was doing. But to be fair to him, in part, he didn't have the preseason that he probably needed. Injuries have plagued him. Now he looks like he's probably going to be out for the entirety of the season, given the fact that he went to go get knee surgery in Spain. So
ACL surgery, right? Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, because he would have been an integral part of this team. Would he have continued his performance from last season? D, unavailable one. Yeah, you can 100% be a D. David Ayala.
C. I think similarly started or had some injuries early in the season, and then compared to like Yannick Bright, and Rodrigo de Paul, you're not exactly sure. I thought he was initially going to take Bright's spot, but then he kind of played himself out of it or wasn't available. So to me, disappointing to start. Needs to get better.
I'm going to go with the D on this one. I just think that not only the performances haven't been up to par, but I think the expectations. There was discussion as to was he going to start alongside De Paul instead of Yannick Bright. In this case, it was Yannick Bright that took over that. And in the few chances that he's gotten, he just hasn't proved himself. And they brought him in with a lot of promise. So I'm giving him a D. Performance plus expectations not met. Matteo Silvetti.
Matteo Silvetti gets an A for me because I still think when he plays and when he also has had some injuries, hasn't gotten the starts, but when he plays, he's just a dynamo. He scores, he does sick goals, he creates assists, he creates danger. Not perfect, but maybe I'll say A minus, maybe an A minus. I don't think he's perfectly at an A. An A minus to me, still fun when he plays, great skill, great ability, great energy. When he plays, it makes a difference. So yeah, that's A minus.
I'm gonna go with an A because of everything you said. He's an exciting player to watch. Anytime the ball's at his feet, something cool is gonna happen, something great is gonna happen. He meshes so well with Messi, De Paul, Berterame, everybody around him, and he's a player that he can be a starter. He can be. It just begs the question, like, what do you do if you have Suarez, Berterame, and Messi playing out of their minds over the last 3-4 games? How do you inject the Matteo Silvetti into starting position? That begs the question. Isn't a C minus for Silvetti? What in the world?
That's maybe a little harsh, but maybe hey.
Ash, I gotta know why you gave him a C minus. I don't get that at all. Tyler Hall.
C.
A what?
C. It's indifferent.
C. Okay. Let's go with a C for Tyler Hall. And I'm going to give him a C as well because he exists, and that's good. That's good for him that he exists and he's on this team and he's earning a paycheck. Noah Allen.
That's tough, honestly. It's the first one I have to really think about.
Okay,
B
I'll go.
minus.
That way. Oh, you got it? Okay, cool. So B minus for Noah
Yeah,
Allen.
I mean, he can't exactly fill Jordi Alba's shoes. When he's played, he's had a few good moments, but not great. I don't think he's to me, like CD, that's harsh, really negative. To me, Noah Allen is not doing great, but he's not doing awful, and yeah.
Noah Allen, I think, is in a tough spot. He's being asked to play a role that was vacated by an all-time great. And then he's fallen back in the pecking order when Reguilón is in there. So he's losing some consistency and regularity within there. He's also, we know that he can play left back, but then he also got accustomed to playing center back. And I think he's looked better at center back than he has at left back, especially with what this team needs. And they ask him to play really high up. And, so I'm going to go honestly with it's tough. Like I can go between a C plus and a B. Or in a B minus. So I'm just gonna go B minus because I just think Noah. I'm gonna leave it at a B, not even a B minus, a B because of he's also been a leader in the locker room, and that's what I love about him. So I'm gonna keep it with a B. Rocco Rios.
He's gonna get a C. Doesn't play, so he doesn't even see the field. But hasn't done anything. Hasn't, I mean, he's not playing himself to be better than Dane St. Clair somehow. But yeah, so no playing time, no great grade.
I'm gonna go with C as well because I agree. I can't give him anything less. He hasn't shown anything bad, but he also hasn't shown anything good. And it's not his fault. He just hasn't gotten the playing time. If I was the coach from the very beginning, your MLS Cup winning keeper is your starter, and that's what I would have thought from the beginning. I wish he was still that, and I think many people would probably agree. Rocco should be in there, but we don't make those decisions, unfortunately. But if things keep going the way they are, we may see him starting. So he had a clean sheet and 5 saves in his one chance. So I mean, he's shown that he still has what he is, but he can't give him an A if he hasn't played, right? Or B, but we leave it as a C. Falcon, what do we think?
There's a lot I could say about Falcon, but I'm gonna give, unfortunately, a D because it's been disappointing. The defense has not been up to par. That wasn't even on purpose.
That was cool. That was really cool.
But it worked out.
D for defense, D for disappointment. What else? Can you keep it going? That was good. I like that.
Denial of stopping goals. I don't know. Yeah, it's been disappointing because Maxi Falcon has obviously shown his availability and his desire and his teamwork. Those are all good things, but the play this season has been well below par, and it's reflected throughout the defense. Lost his spot to Lujan. Yeah, I mean it's definitely been disappointing, and so he gets a D. Hopefully he can improve, and when we do this at the end of the season, it'll be better.
Damn, that's a big drop off because if I was thinking about Falcon last season, probably would have given him a B plus maybe or straight B. So drop to a D, and I can see it, and I have no problem with anybody giving him a D. I think I'm going to give him a C minus. Is this a C minus because I just think that I still think he's a good defender. Like I don't think he's lost it all. I just think he's in a bad moment right now. Like he's in a bad moment, and sometimes players get in that funk. But I think that he can get out of it. I'm going to give him a C minus. David Ruiz.
C, because he does. There's players that are better above him, and because of that, he gets very minimal playing time, and there's players much better at his position than him that are available and playing, and so it just reflects poorly. It's unfortunate.
I'm gonna give him a D as well. I think he hasn't gotten the opportunities, and with the few opportunities that he's gotten, he hasn't played well.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate because it's a big drop off from the last couple of seasons. I think he was a guy that you kind of depended on more, and you liked what you saw from him. He actually is going to the World Cup. Or I think he is. He got called at least for this upcoming game with Honduras. So just strange to see him underperforming that way. He's like what, like 6th or 7th on the list. Like I don't know if you'll ever see playing time again.
No, hundreds. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, Yannick Bright.
A-. Obviously,
A-.
there's been some hiccups, and I know, things go up and down, but I just think he's such a beautiful player and so young and just so freaking talented that I just can't give him below an A. I think he's just too good. He's too talented. He's
When you say beautiful, what do you mean?
the way he plays, like just
Okay.
his understanding of the game and the way he plays. It's just like it's people used to say that, like, you can say that about like an Iniesta, right, or someone where you watch them play and you're just thinking like, wow, they play the game at such a beautiful way and it comes so easy to them. And for Yannick Bright, I just think it comes really easy to him. He's always in the right place at the right time. He just knows where to play, where to be, what the team needs from him. He provides it game in, game out. And yeah, for me, it's great.
He's been one of the bright spots on this team.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I did there? That was cool, right?
I see what you did there.
I think that he's been one of the bright spots. He's been one of the most consistent across the board, and I think that this team without him, especially with a defense that is not, peak MLS defenses, I think that he's definitely closed up a lot of the weak spots within the defense. So I have to give him just a straight up A. I think he's been one of the best players that we've had. Daniel Pinter.
B. He had a few moments where I thought he almost had a golazo in game. I don't know enough about him, but he doesn't seem bad. So B.
Can I just say that, like, with Daniel Pinter, I think it's amazing that this team continues to find young players they can elevate, and I think it's great for Daniel Pinter. And this is something that maybe has nothing to do with football, and it may be stupid. You can call me silly. I don't like how he runs. He doesn't run like somebody that plays football. It's weird. Like,
really?
It doesn't look like he should be playing football. I don't know. He runs nerdy. I don't know. And I don't know if that should affect, like, that shouldn't affect my grade, but I'm going to give him, you know what? Because of the fact that he's shown hard out there, that's one thing that we can never take away from him. When he's those few minutes that he's gone, he puts in a lot of effort, like someone that's trying to prove himself. I love it. I'll give him a B, but I don't like how he runs, honestly. Pinter gets
clunky,
a B.
that's a good word. That's a good word. Yeah.
He runs like Bangha, clunky. Hey, yeah, that's a good one.
Clunky's the word, yeah.
See, but that's good though. That means that I'm not going crazy. People see it too.
Agreed. No, for sure.
Going there. Preston Plembeck. I assume you're going with a C there.
Yeah.
Because he exists. Because he exists. He's loving life, living life, and he's on Inter Miami. So we're gonna give him a kind C there. Boatwright.
D.
D.
Like
D?
unavailable.
What
Yeah.
D. Unavailable. Okay. D.
Unavailable and hasn't made it to the point where he plays out like he can play over the other defenders and similar. It's similar to David Ruiz. Like, he's been for Inter Miami for a while, but hasn't made his way to make that impact.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. Cesar Abadia. Why is he still taking up a spot? You want to just go see on this? He's
right? No longer on our team.
I mean, I believe he is. We can probably look at our roster. Okay. No, he is. He is on our team. What are we talking about? I know 100%. That's why I put him on the team.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Sorry. Keep going.
So Shaw, what do you think? Want to give him a C as well for being alive and breathing?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Exactly.
And then Dane St. Clair. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. What do we think about DSC?
D-.
The best goalkeeper of 2025. D-.
I think an F is too harsh. Like he's made some saves and it has, not everything is his fault with the way defense is played. But it's been really, really disappointing. Has had a lot of bad moments. Has not looked like someone who deserved to knock off Rios Novos or be the goalkeeper of the season. He needs to keep consistency and improve to get the fans behind him and to see what you're looking for. Overall, it's been disappointing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with honestly a D plus. The reason I'm gonna go with a D plus is the part of not only the performance but the expectation. The guy freaking took the place of our MLS Cup winning goalkeeper, for goodness sake. Like he needs to be better. Like he cannot be. He's coming in with the awards he won in 2025. He's a goalkeeper for Canada, like or one of them, and it's just the expectation is there. Like he's just not doing it. I mean, some of it's not his fault, but he just needs to be so much better for this team. And if they're gonna win MLS Cup, if they're gonna win Leagues Cup, he needs to be better. So I'm giving him a D plus. I agree. So I think it'll be fun to do what you said, Ash. Like we got to go back and look at this.
Really fun.
We got to go back and see. So we'll do this quickly. We're at an hour and 20.
Yeah.
So we'll do this super quick. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I like that.
Super fun. Thanks again, everyone, for participating, and we'll come back to it when the season ends and see how it.
So you might disappear again. I'll bring you back quickly. No, you didn't disappear. Let's go. Okay.
Ooh.
What Inter Miami must fix in the second half of the season? Again, they've got MLS Cup, they've got Supporters Shield, they've got Leagues Cup. All of these are not only important silverware, but they also bring extra prizes, right? Like going to a Champions Cup, like a Champions Cup berth, the possibility of going to a Club World Cup. Like there's a lot of things there are things to win. Champions Cup, as much as that hurt, there are plenty of things to win that this team needs to. And I think that we've talked about it right through this show so far, this episode. There are different things that they need to do. So like to sum it up, what do you want this team to do to be better?
Yeah, I think we just need to see, like you said, more consistency on the defensive end. We need to see a stronger front, and whether it's Reguilon and Ian Frey and whoever is available, they want to be consistency, create better teamwork, and be able to stop letting so many goals come in from the defense, because I think the attack has been overall great and has continued to improve. But the defense is where we really need to see for the team to make the season count.
Yeah, this team is on the up and up. They've been progressively getting better, which is a really good positive for them. I mean, I think you talk about a month ago, a lot of us were probably looking at this team completely like differently, right? We were kind of like, I don't know, not necessarily happy with them, but they're doing better. And I would say, if I can sum this up in like 3 or 4 points. One is defense needs to get better. You need to invest in the center back. I think Reguilon and Ian Frey can get you to the results you want this season. They're good enough for that, right? But center back, I don't think with a good center back pairing alongside Mikael, I don't know if you win Leagues Cup, especially playing against these Mexican teams. I don't know if you win MLS Cup with a weak defense, because the thing is, this attack has been covering it up for the defense. They've been scoring out of their minds. But if the attack has one bad game, with this leaky back line at times, like I don't know if the team can withstand that. So that's number one. Number two, let's talk about Casemiro real quick. Casemiro. If Casemiro comes in, number one, the first domino just fell, which is Benja Cremaschi being sold. Parma took on the buy clause, the 4 million buy clause. So Inter Miami now has money, and they may need a little bit more depending on whatever salary that Casemiro is going to take. They may need a little bit more so that they can, one, buy down his salary so he doesn't hit DP status. They have to buy an international roster spot. They have to buy his discovery rights. Yeah. So they need money, but that was the first domino, and they may be able to do it with that. They may need one more, but that's the first domino. If Casemiro comes in, it begs the question: does he go into the midfield? Or you may think I'm silly for saying this, but he's done it before. He's got the experience at playing center back. Do you just slot him in to center back and have him alongside Mikael? Other players have done this. Mascherano has done this. Is that something you want to see if Yannick Bright is still around? Now, if Yannick Bright is one of the pieces being sold,
Right.
could happen. I'm sure a lot of teams want him. If he gets sold, then that issue no longer exists. Casemiro simply slots into where Yannick Bright was. But those are some things you want to think about going during this offseason. And the other thing is, I think, is figure out the Silvetti thing. Is Silvetti going to continue coming off the bench? Can you break up a Berterame, Suarez, Messi front three that's absolutely killing it and is the reason why you've won 4 games in a row? Can you do that? Or do you find something, and this could be a little bit radical, but do you have a 4-2 with De Paul and Yannick Bright, or De Paul and Casemiro, and then in front of those two, it may be exciting to see Silvetti right in front of them instead of Telasco, more in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see that at least once. But those are some things to think about. But this team just really needs to get better at defense. And they need maybe one more attacking player, I think, because you can't depend on a 39-year-old guy. It's great that it's happening, but how long will he resist? Because if you look at him, Suarez is running the most he ever has. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like, they're really asking a lot from him. He may need some games off, and in that case, Silvetti may go in. But if not, you may need another attacker. But yeah.
Yeah, I honestly agree exactly with what you said. I think that, the order of priority is probably Casemiro and then a defender. But I would think we'd like to see both happen in the window. That's the biggest way Inter Miami can improve, is by getting, shoring up the defensive midfield, and limiting the opposing goals and opportunities that will keep Inter Miami, because we said the attack overall has been good and strong. If they can add another piece, maybe, but overall, to see the improvement and the results we want, I think we need to say something on defense.
Yeah, those are the spots. I think it's very clear to most people that those are the spots. Bassetti, yeah, the most that you can convert from a sale per season is 3 million in game. The reason I don't know if that's going to be enough. Sorry, I just had a mosquito fly by here. The reason I don't know if that's enough is simply because it depends on how much they need to buy his salary down. So again, you have to remember, international roster spot is probably going to go for around 200 to 250,000. The discovery rights are probably going to go for around 400,000. So that leaves you with 2.25, 2.3, somewhere around there. Is that going to be enough? It all depends on what he wants, what he's willing to take. He's making like 15 million in Man U.
Right.
So we'll have to see. But yeah.
All right, we'll see. All right, well, this was an awesome episode. I appreciate everyone's patience as I joined obviously a couple minutes late and had to get the mic situation, but I had such a great episode. I had so much fun. We went through so many topics. I think the grading was so fun. And I'm just excited, like we said, stay tuned on this channel, because we're going to have a World Cup preview coming out Thursday. We're going to do another live episode. That's what is on everyone's mind. By the way, U.S. men's national team, what a performance. Let's go. I'm excited for the World Cup. I will see, obviously, Messi, how he ramps back up and gets back in the Argentinian side, but he will be there. We're seeing all the teams and players arriving in the U.S. and getting situated in their camps, and it's just so exciting. The World Cup is awesome, and I'm really excited for it. And thank you guys again for participating in a really great episode talking about all the things Inter Miami. Missing you already. Don't worry, we'll be back a few days. You won't even have to wait. But again, thank you, everybody. This was awesome. For this episode of Messi Co, I'm Ashley. That is Gian, and we will see you next time.